This says Wild One, Jerry Lee Lewis. It's actually a cover of Ivan, which is a pseudonym for Jerry Allison from the Crickets, Buddy Holly's band, doing what was called Real Wild Child on the original record in 1958. Now it's Wild Child by Jerry Lee Lewis, but it's a fine audio-only version. And then we're going to follow it for fun with the original Whole Lotta Shakin' Going On by Big Maybelle. And Cowboy Jack Clement told me at that session, he was the producer, they were trying to record It'll Be Me, which is a wonderful Jerry Lee Lewis website. And then they weren't getting it, so they took a break. And the bass player, who was the father of the 13-year-old second cousin, not cousin, that Jerry Lee Lewis married without getting a divorce and all that. But the story broke in England, to be fair. This was part of the attack on rock and roll. The story broke in England when he went over and toured over in England, that he had married his 13-year-old cousin, well, second cousin, that's legal. And it's also, this is Louisiana. If they would have broke that story in America, we'd go, that's Louisiana. What do you expect? The first cousin and the sister were not available. This is normal behavior. But in England, they're shocked, And that trashed his career, and that was exploited by the media to basically drive Jerry Lee Lewis out of rock and roll, except for playing dumps in the South for the most part. And then when the Beatles brought all that, and the Stones brought all that old stuff back in the mid-'60s in England and Europe and all that, where all of a sudden they went, hey, this stuff is good. People are still saying, hey, this stuff is good. So anyway, Big Maybelle did this, and the bass player, the mother of, with full approval of the father of the 13-year-old girl, and they stayed married for 10 years. Can you imagine being married to him for 10 years? That's pretty saintly. But anyway, it was more like a typical Southern romance, rock and roll style. And Jerry Lee was a good catch. He had money from writing the songs. Elvis didn't write those songs. So anyway, the bass player suggests, why don't we do that thing that we did the other night in concert, and it killed him. And what it was Big Maybelle's Whole Lotta Shakin' Going On. And now Cowboy Jack Clement, who produced it, told me that was done on one Ampex mono tape deck with one microphone and one take. And I don't know, I was only told, but it's a hell of a good story. So yeah, anyway, Big Maybelle's the source. From time to time, we'll try and make the connections and play you where these things came from, because everything influences everything else is how it works.